worries.
Hey, it's Johnny Jet, and this is my 39 travel questions. And today we have Nomadic Matt, who created nomadicmatt.com. Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
It's a website dedicated to helping people travel on a budget. My goal is to show people that travel doesn't have to be as expensive as they think it is, and provide them the tips to travel more for less.
And how did you get started?
In 2006, I took a trip around the world for a year and a half. And then when I came home, I wanted to keep traveling. So I thought, well, travel writer seems like a good way to pay the bill. So the goal was really just to do freelance writing, just enough to travel. I never had any big ideals here. And then over the years, it just kind of grew.
Yeah. It was similar to mine too. I mean, it was never to make money.
Yeah, I was a backpacker, and all I cared about was I need to be able to afford one more night at the hostel, so that was it. That was my goal.
So where'd you grow up?
Boston, Massachusetts.
Where do you live now?
Austin, Texas.
And did you go to college?
UMass Amherst.
What'd you study?
I went to school to be a high school history teacher.
Really?
Yep.
And did you ever become one?
For 1 year.
In Boston?
In a Western Mass town. So it was after you do the classes, you do a year practicum as part of the thing. So I did that for a year.
And how are you doing with the quarantine? I know that you were probably the first travel blogger to come down with COVID-19. And how was that whole experience, and how are you doing now?
I'm doing great now. I only had a mild case of COVID. So for me, it was halfway between a cold and a flu. So I got lucky in that sense. But I've been okay since March, because I got it early March. So it lasted about 10 days.
Well, and you were traveling, you were in Taiwan, you were in Paris right before that. So do you know where you got it?
I probably picked it up in New York, given how bad that place has been hit.
Right. Yeah, I saw your flight back. You were flying first class on Lufthansa, I think, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I cashed in a lot of points for that flight. It was a good way to come back from Europe.
Yeah, so you were probably pretty much social distance from everyone on that flight.
Yeah, and at that point, I'm not as good as using wipes. I know you love wiping down planes, but before this whole coronavirus thing, I was pretty bad at it. But starting in February, I started carrying wipes with me. So I wiped down everything twice over.
And will you wipe things down in the future?
Yes.
I mean, even when the whole COVID's over, will you still wipe it?
Yeah, I mean, planes are just gross, I mean, they were gross before COVID, and I cleaned everything. I cleaned my tray, but I never cleaned my seat or the armrest, but I'm going to do a better job in the future. But planes are gross. People are gross.
And when do you think you will fly again?
I probably won't fly till late summer. I just don't have, nothing's open. So even if I wanted to go somewhere, it's not like I can do anything. So my goal is to just road trip around the States and see national parks.
But would you get on a plane right now? I mean, you had COVID before, so would you get on one today?
Yes.
You would?
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you think you can get it again? I mean, everything I hear is once you have it, they're not sure if you'll get it again. They say in China, 5 to 15%, I think I read, that have gotten it again.
Yeah, but they don't know if that was a reinfection or the virus was still there and then just flared up again. Okay. They don't know if these were false positives. There's just a lot they just don't know about. I mean, if you were to ask me to fly tomorrow, I feel okay. But a year from now, maybe I don't have that antibody immunity anymore. Because again, they don't know, right? It's like the flu. You get the flu, but a month later, you're not going to get the flu again. But next season, you can get the flu again.
Gotcha.
So
also crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, I would fly. I take precautions, and I think at the very least, I think more people are just a lot more conscious of germs than they were pre-COVID, which is a good thing.
I agree. I think that's one of the silver linings out of this whole thing. By the way, where can people find you? What are your social handles?
Uh, nomadicmat.com is the website, and nomadicmat on every social channel. Just, whatever the social network /nomadicmat.
All right. And I'm Johnny Jet, and please subscribe to this channel. Also like this video. And Matt, let's just jump right back into it. How many countries have you been to?
I don't know. I don't keep count, but I would probably say slightly north of 100.
Wow. And how many continents have you been to?
6.
Antarctica is the one.
You're only missing one.
I'm with you. What's that?
Haven't been yet.
Neither. What's your earliest travel memory?
Fighting with my father in Colonial Williamsburg. It was hot. I mean, Virginia in July is, swampland, right? And so it was hot, and we fought because I was hungry and I didn't really care.
How old were you?
10.
Okay. And what's your favorite American city?
New York.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Boston. How about international city?
That's a lot tougher. 3-way tie between Paris, Bangkok, and Hong Kong.
I'm right there with you. I love all 3 of those, and we have similar tastes. How about what country do you think has the friendliest people in the world?
I don't know. They're all friendly in their own way.
Okay. How about which country is the least friendly?
Moldova.
Really? I've never been there.
But it's not that they're not friendly. It's just, there are cultures that, when they see a stranger and they're like, you're my new best friend. And there are other cultures that are just like, you have to like put in your time and effort before I'm going to say hi to you.
Right. How about which country do you think has the meanest immigration officers?
Canada.
Everyone says Canada.
I mean, it's my dad. I'll make this quick. My dad is 75 years old, drove to Canada, and because he was arrested when he was 18, they kept him at the border for 2 hours while they searched his car. Because he said he'd never been arrested because he had blacked out this memory because from so long ago. And they're like, we have it right here. And he's like, I'm never driving to Canada again.
Wow. Did they let him in?
Yeah, but he just went in, spent an hour. He was going to do a whole thing. And he was like, so annoyed, he just drove home.
I'm not sure how your internet connection is or if it's mine, but it just cut out a little bit. But let's hope Zoom didn't get it.
Okay, well,
it could be mine. It definitely could be mine. How about what's your favorite U.S. airport?
Seattle.
How about international airport?
Singapore, Changi.
How about international lounge?
Ooh. I don't know.
You just flew in.
I know. Lufthansa first terminal.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say. I mean, you just came out of there. That's probably the last lounge you've been in.
Well, I was thinking of all like the Middle Eastern first class lounges.
Gotcha.
I mean, that first is pretty good.
How about your favorite aircraft type?
Airbus 350.
Favorite seat on any airline? What's your favorite airline seat?
Japan Air first.
Wow. Have you ever sat next to any celebrities?
No.
What's your drink of choice when you're on the ground or in the air?
I sat in front of Paul McCartney. Does that count?
That's pretty. That counts. Which flight was that?
It was a red eye from LA to New York.
Okay. And did you talk to him?
In the morning, yeah. I didn't take a picture because he had literally just woke up, but we chatted for a bit.
Cool. Drink of choice.
Wine.
How about your favorite restaurant?
There's a sushi place in New York City called Yuba. That's where I like, YUBA.
And what's the craziest thing you've ever eaten?
Fried maggots.
Where was that?
Thailand. They taste like French fries. They're actually pretty good.
Where was it? And you'll eat it again?
I would, yeah. The small ones, because they're like crunchy. So I've never had one of those giant maggots that's like soft and chewy.
Yeah, I think I might have to pass on that one, but that's interesting. How about your favorite hotel?
The W.
Favorite hostel?
That's a tough one. I would say Gallery Hostel in Porto.
Okay. Um, favorite travel credit card?
Chase Sapphire Preferred. Reserve, sorry, Reserve.
Okay, yeah, that's what I use. How about favorite island?
There's a little island in Thailand called Koh Lanta. Not so little, but
How
it's
about
my
how about favorite beach?
island. Also in Thailand. It's called Leap Noi Beach. It's on Koh Samui.
Okay. Favorite travel movie?
A Map for Saturday.
What's it called?
A Map for Saturday. It's a
Okay.
documentary by this guy, Brooke Silva Braga, about his year around the world.
Okay, I gotta check that out. How about favorite travel show?
No Reservations, Anthony Bourdain.
Favorite travel book?
Does mine count?
Yeah. Actually, besides yours, but actually do plug yours, please.
Well, mine's called 10 Years of Nomad. It's about my 10 years backpacking around the world. Uh, but probably my
That made New York
favorite.
Times bestseller too, right?
This one was not, sadly enough, but the
Didn't one of
first
them
one,
make that New York Times bestseller?
How to Travel the World on $50 a Day.
Okay.
I got 2 books.
Okay, good.
First one was a Times bestseller. Second one, no, because they don't do a travel section anymore. So,
Okay.
you're competing with Michelle Obama becoming, and like, I'm never going to sell that many copies. But favorite is probably In a Sunburned Country by Bill Bryson.
That's mine. That's mine.
Yeah.
Worst travel moment.
Getting knifed in Colombia.
I knew you were going to say that. Obviously, how can you not?
Yeah.
What's your most embarrassing travel moment?
I don't have one.
Okay.
No, actually, I do have one. Actually, and now that I always forget some of the shit that happens to me. I was in Germany, in passport control, and they were rushing people through. And I turned to the guy behind me and I said, people need to better budget their time. Like, how do you miss an international flight? And then I got so spaced out, I was late for my flight. I was the last person on the plane, ran on it. Who was the guy looking right at me as I ran on? That guy from behind me. We just both burst out laughing.
That's hilarious. All right, just down to a few questions, man. You must have seen these questions in advance because you are the fastest. What's your dream destination?
Mongolia.
And what has travel taught you?
Well, I mean, it teaches you many things. I would say it internalizes, the cerebral idea that we're all the same. Like on an intellectual level, we know like everybody is the same, right? We all like laugh and cry and all that stuff. But when you're actually around the world and seeing that other cultures basically do the same thing that you do, it sort of, makes it real, right? The what we do is the same. It's and the why is pretty much the same. It's the how that's different.
Right. And by the way, were you afraid to travel internationally before you went overseas?
No, I just never had the money to travel. Travel wasn't really like a big thing growing up. So I mean, we went to like Disneyland and we went on one cruise. Um, Spring break was just going to Montreal because like I couldn't afford to go to Mexico or anything like that. So it was something I wanted to do. It was just I never had enough money to do it because I thought it was all resorts and hotels and the budget travel didn't exist.
Right. And do you like cruising?
I like cruising as on like 3-day cruises because it's just a vacation, right? I mean, what do? Sit by the pool, you read a book. Um, I actually am pretty healthy because like there's salad in front of me all the time and there's a gym I have no excuse not to go to. So it's a vacation. It's not travel to me. It's a resort on the ocean.
And do you have a favorite cruise line, by the way?
I don't. No, I've been on like 4 or 5 cruises my entire life.
All right. Well, before you give me your best travel tip one more time, where can people find you?
Nomadicmat.com.
All right. Nomadicmat.com. Please subscribe to this channel, like this video. And Matt, what is your best travel tip?
My best travel tip would be to just go, and that most of what you think is true about travel is a lie. So everything you see on movies or TV or, even in some travel publications is really advertising, and it's meant to sell an image. Once you go away and travel, you see that the world is not as expensive as, media makes it out to be, and people are a lot friendlier than media makes them out to be, because happy stories don't get clicks on, news. You can't fill 24 hours on CNN with like, everybody like helped somebody across the road today, right? Like that doesn't sell. So, that image of the world is very inaccurate. So don't give
Very
into
true,
it.
without a doubt. Well, Matt, I appreciate your time, and I hope to see you on the road again soon. And by the way, am I going to see you in New Orleans, or is it going to happen, or has that not been official?
As of now, it's happening. So, it's TravelCon, which is our media event I run. It's, unless Louisiana shuts events down, we're going to be there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not sure I'm going to make it, but I'll at least be there virtually if I.
Right. I mean, if anything we learned from March being the longest decade of the year, a lot can happen in a matter of, a few weeks. So,
Right.
so
All
we'll
right.
just
Well,
see.
thanks again, Matt. You have a good one.
No worries.